Good morning, YouTube gang. It's Mellow DFS coming to you live and direct, here to give you my favorite plays for today's 5-game main slate. Today is the 11th of February. Hope everybody's having a great Tuesday. Feel free to like the video. Please subscribe if you're new or support the channel, man. I appreciate the love as always. Press that bell icon so you always stay notified for new videos. Also, check me out on my Twitter at Mellorama, and also check back into the video because I always post any values, any injuries whatsoever throughout the day, especially with injury news and just giving you some more plays. Especially, I can't really give you everything in the video, but it's good to give you some value to help with your lines. But also, if you want access to my player pool, just check in my link in the description and sign up for Draft Dashboard Tools. Let's jump into it. Going to the point guard slot for today, I definitely like Kemba Walker in a great spot against Houston. All right, 7,100 on FanDuel is a great play. Still on DraftKings, 77. I like this play. It's a fast-paced game for Boston here. As you can see, Houston's 103.4 to Boston's 98.8. A great bump in pace for Boston and a great play. He balled out last 2 games last season against Houston, 62-55. Something you can want to consider here as Houston's 24th in defense. So it's a great fast-paced game, and hopefully he can bounce back. He had that 32-30 in the last 2 games, so something you can consider here. Another great play is Lonzo Ball. All right, going against Portland. We're going to look into if Ingram's going to play. He's questionable so far for today, but if he does not play, he's in a great upside spot for him. He had 32, 37, 31, 48, 35 in the last 5 games. Got a great floor, knowing what he can do here. Going against Portland at 22nd against point guards. Great spot for him to flourish. And if Ingram's out, potential upside for Lonzo Ball here. All right, let's look into our next slot. Going to the shooting guards. All right, now we still got to look into Houston, knowing that Eric Gordon's out, so you already know Russell Westbrook and James Harden gets a bumping usage already. Another bumping usage while Eric Gordon on the court, and you already know Capella's not playing with them no more, so of course they're doing double time to work. So those 2 guys are still a potential play here going against Boston. But if you want to look for some upside, another guy you're looking to is Jrue Holiday. Again, with Ingram, if he sits, he gets a great bumping usage as well. 240 implied total, something you want to consider against Portland. 22nd against the position as well. 7,400 still too cheap, knowing the upside for Jrue Holiday. 79 on DraftKings, still sign me up here. Now he's not 58 last game. He had 25, 23, so in the last 5 games, but you see potential in him. And he also has a great floor against Portland in the last 5, 37, 38, 32, 40 in the last 4 games against Portland. So I like that play for Jrue Holiday. Better play if Ingram was to sit today. Another guy I can look into for some savings, I will go to JJ Redick, man. 4,300, still too cheap. Great play, 45 on DraftKings. He balled out last game with a 40 fantasy point game, 25 in the last 2 games. Got a great floor against Portland, 20, 27, 21, 23 in the last 4 out of 5 against Portland, and a fast-paced game. Also, this is a good spot for him to do some damage for a cheap play. All right, now looking to some other savings. Another guy probably gonna be chalk is Furkan Korkmaz, man. He balled out in the last 2 games, getting not that much minutes. I mean, he had 31 minutes, 28 in the last 2 games, 47, 48 in the last 2. He just been balling out of control. Don't know where this came from, but he just trying to show that he has what it takes, man, in the league. Something I want to consider here. 45 on DraftKings, 43 on FanDuel, but most likely to be chalk. So something I want to consider, but to me it's more of a trap play. It's kind of hard to dictate if he's going to still do damage here, but something I still want to mention in my video. So we got Korkmaz in a good play for today. Let's look into our next spot, into the small forwards. Going to the small forward side of things. All right, we do have Gordon Hayward in a great play against Houston, 6,300 on FanDuel, but he is 69 on DraftKings. Still, I like this play for him as they're the worst spot against small forwards. You already know how that is. And you got Jaylen Brown in a good play, and he's cheaper. All right, now looking into the fantasy points per minute, he's only 1 fantasy point per minute on the court and averaging 34 minutes. So somebody you want to consider here at 5,900, still too cheap for Jaylen Brown with a 34.1 projection play, 5.8 value spot. And you have Gordon Hayward. He's 1.01 fantasy points per minute with 33 minutes on the court. So those 2's in good spots here, but of course you want upside. Jaylen Brown's that guy you want to consider. and a great play for today. So those two guys and a great play. The Chandler Hutchinson is another good spot here at 4,600 on both platforms. Going against Washington with 230 implied total here. Projected to get around 20.8 projection, 4.5 value. But he's one of those guys that could flourish, man, against Washington. 29th against the position, 29th in defense. He could do damage. He could give you upside here. Somebody I definitely want to consider. He had a 30, 33 in the last 5 games so far. So he's one of those guys that could get through that 30, 35 with this price tag. So I like this play for Hutchinson going against Washington. All right, let's go to our next play at power forwards. All right, going to the power forward side of things. I like Jason Tatum, but at 8,500, somebody I think that's going to be more of a ceiling play. So I think you're really chasing with this price tag on both platforms. He's 84 on DraftKings. So I definitely want to go to a lower play. You do have Robert Covington, especially on DraftKings. Somebody you want to consider at 5,200, knowing that Eric Gordon's out. He's going to be more likely starting. So somebody want to consider here. He had that 39 on his debut with the squad. So at this price tag, you know, he could definitely pay off this price tag, especially on DraftKings. But he had a 39-22 in the last 2 games against Boston when he played elsewhere. But it's still in a good spot, knowing not Russell and Harden could do all the work, but Covington's one of those guys that could do justice on the rebounds and also defense. So I like this play for Covington for a cheap play, especially on DraftKings. Another guy I consider here is Derek Favors. I like this play here, 5,600 on FanDuel, but he's cheaper on DraftKings at 4,800. It's too cheap, knowing what he can do, especially in the paint. Got to go against Whiteside. Got to do damage, man. So 28-30 in the last 2 games, showing some upside here. Too cheap, man, in my opinion. 37 last game against Portland. This is a great game to definitely stack on, but Derek Favors too cheap, knowing the upside with him for today. All right, now another guy could look into Daniel Theis, finally back in the mix, man, from his injury. He had a 34 fantasy point last game in 30 minutes. So somebody could consider here against Houston that don't have anybody in the paint. So Theis in a good spot. Like I stated before, it's an upside and pace for Boston in this play against them. So Daniel Theis in a good spot to definitely, hopefully, give you upside here, because he should be able to. Another guy I could look into for a nice little dart throw is Luke Cornett against Washington, 4,400 on FanDuel, but he is 41 on DraftKings. Great play for him, 20th against opposing power forwards, but he's also slotted into the center play. So Luke Cornett, somebody you want to consider. He had 29 fantasy points in 29 minutes last game. So one of those games that could be close, especially against Washington. One of those games that can make it competitive. 0.87 fantasy points per minute. He could give you value in this play for today. So somebody you want to consider at the low dart throw. All right, so now let's go to our center spot. My guy for today will be Joel Embiid, man. Too cheap at this price tag, 9,800 on FanDuel, but he is 91 on DraftKings. What are they thinking with the price tag? He should dominate against the Clippers. Fast-paced game as well. As you can see, Philly is 98.9 and Clippers 102 in pace. So it's a great bump in pace for Philly here. And as you can see, he dominates Clippers, y'all. 62, 68, 61, 53 in the last 4 games against the Clippers. Sign me up in this play as a 21st against opposing centers. Easy spot for me. Of course, you want to go for some savings. Another guy I could look at is Wagner, man. A good spot for him at 4,200, 43 on DraftKings, going against Chicago, worst team against opposing centers. Good play to target him, as he had that 32 fantasy points in 24 minutes. He's a great fantasy point monster instead of Mahimi, so I like him as potential upside than Mahimi in the paint. So I like Wagner. So those are guys I'm looking at so far for today, y'all. If you like the plays, give a thumbs up. Any questions or concerns with your lines, comment below. Using Draft Dashboard tools, like I stated before, need access to my player pool. Click the link in the description and sign up. Once you sign up, you get access to the NBA cheat sheet to give you the best plays of the slate, your sleepers and your studs, your player trends, let you know who's hot right now. Also, click on the Watch Players, access to your player pool, and you'll see my picks up top. Click on Watch Melo's DFS picks for either DraftKings or FanDuel, y'all. So I love y'all. Y'all collect that bag for today. It's Melo DFS, and y'all stay blessed. And I'll see y'all in the next video.